Hi, my name is Reginald Miller. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I make $135,000 a year. I've never even had a job before, so I don't know what the 9-to-5 life is like because I've always worked for myself, so I really can't complain about I hate my 9-to-5. I never had one. For work, I am a video director. About 80% of the work that I do is music video related, whether I'm directing music videos or shooting music videos or producing music videos. I also do a lot of documentary work, and some of the documentary work that I've shot has won stuff like Emmys. So it's pretty cool to say, the content I've shot has been viewed online close to 100 million times. My budget comes out to roughly about $7,000 a month. Looking at what is the highest thing in my budget would be debt repayments. For debt repayment, I repay $2,400 a month. For debt repayment, that goes to stuff like my credit card. I had financed some furniture. My rent is $1,320 a month. My car payment is $536 a month. And my car wasn't even that much money. My credit's terrible. I think if I had good credit, my car payment would probably be around $300 a month, but they gave me like 29% APR, and then they put insurance on my car loan, so it's like I had to pay extra APR, and they put some car insurance thing on there to make the car payment like $50, $60 higher than it already was. $600 a month on dining out, because I go out for lunch every single day, and every single day that I go out for lunch, I'll buy lunch for somebody else, whether that's a friend, or if I'm not buying lunch for a friend, I will literally just buy lunch for a random person at the store. That could be if some girl, I'll buy lunch for a mom and her kids, or just some random girl. If there's a homeless person outside, I'll buy lunch for them for the day. That really adds up into my eating out expenses, but it really doesn't bother me because I already spent so much money on my business. Everything else kind of seems like a small bill after you've gone through and spent $100,000 on your own personal business. I have 2 gym memberships, one at LA Fitness and then one at a different gym. Those are both $30 a month. I spend $750 a month on Instagram ads. When I was growing up, my parents were extremely cheap. I remember we would go grocery shopping at the dollar store. My parents would make sure that they had coupons for everything. They would always get the cheapest option when they were picking up groceries. I remember we would go out and get fast food. My parents would be like, you got a $3 limit for fast food. I know a lot of people will say that they're cheap because they learn how to be cheap and frugal from their parents. But for me, it was the complete opposite. So instead of me being frugal and cheap, I was like, when I grew up, I never want to have to worry about money or be stressed out about how much stuff costs, because that's what I had to see my parents deal with. So I always told myself, I'm gonna just work hard so I don't have to worry about how much stuff costs. So now when I go out, I go to a restaurant, I go to the grocery store, or if I'm at the mall and I'm shopping, I really don't check the price tag on anything. And the only time I do check the price tag is if I'm at the store and I can't decide between 2 options. I'll normally just buy whatever is the most expensive, or if I'm at a restaurant and I can't decide what to eat, I'll normally just get the most expensive thing on the menu because I just assume that that's gonna be the best because it costs the most money. So even though I had a full ride to college, I had 5 years of college completely free, I still ended up getting quite a bit of student loan debt because I was pulling out all my student loans in college just so I could have spending money, which is terrible to do, but it's not too bad because I literally pulled out, I want to say, close to $20,000 of student loans just to buy camera equipment with. And now I'm still in debt from that money I used, but luckily I used that student loan money to start my business, so it wasn't all too bad. Now, in March, I was quite a bit depressed because I had so many plans on making so many investments, getting my passive income up, getting other streams of income going up this year, but that was all shut down when the country was shut down. So I was a little bit depressed for a few months, and I actually had to stop. Well, I mean, I didn't stop shooting videos voluntarily, but I was forced to stop shooting videos and I had to go back to driving Uber to pay my bills. And then a few months after the quarantine kicked in, work started to pick up. And then in May, I had shot 17 videos that month, and then across the summer, I had done a lot of video shoots, and I was very fortunate to make $65,000 in 3 months just from doing video work. So This year, even though it was a quarantine, I still have made more money this year than any other year in the past from doing video work. So one of my childhood dreams was to be a bodybuilder when I got older. So I spent a lot of time at the gym working out. I find this is like a recurring theme with a lot of people that get into bodybuilding. When I was younger, I was really small. I used to get bullied a lot for being smaller and skinnier than everybody else. So just naturally, I was like, oh, when I grew up, I want to be big and I want to be strong. So now I do a lot of bodybuilding type training. Went an 11-mile hike in the mountains. I think I'm getting in too good a shape because this feels ridiculously easy. Somebody else down there dying, struggling to make it up the mountain. So it's a cakewalk. A cakewalk. When I was growing up, one of my favorite things to do was to play adventure video games. I used to play World of Warcraft, I played Skyrim, I played RuneScape, Super Mario, Bomberman on Nintendo 64, a whole bunch of, you know, old classic adventure games. So I still have that like love and passion for adventures. So I hope one day I can produce TV shows and films based around adventures and like fantasy. I can still go on adventures in real life. So I like hiking. Hiking reminds me a lot of like adventure games. So like it's like higher than any other lodge in the eastern part of the US. So I guess in the west side of the United States is the one that's higher up. But so I like hiking in the mountains in Tennessee. And I wanted to do a lot more traveling this year, but as you can obviously see, there wasn't very much traveling this year because of 2020 put a lot of travel bans or restrictions in place. I wanted to go to India and Norway and Japan this year, but that didn't happen. So this year I only ended up getting to go to Puerto Rico. I had bought a cruise for my entire family. So this year I bought 7 cruise tickets to take my whole family on a cruise this year. And all the cruises for the first time ever got canceled this year. What are the odds of that happening? So I started reading books when I was about 25. And since then, I just had a massive change in the way that I think, the way that my day goes through, and a massive change on everything. So I try to read 2 to 3 books a week. That is a crap ton of pages to read. So I go through a lot of books on Audible. I'll normally read 1 physical book a week, and then I'll listen to 1 to 2 more books on Audible while I'm driving through traffic or driving to work or driving to the gym. I'll even listen to books and read books when I'm at the gym. And then I like to take a little break away from work and go to the garden downtown in Atlanta. They have this great Atlanta botanical garden. And to get me, you know, further away from my house, since I work from home, I like coming out here to the garden in Atlanta to read. I'll normally come here once a week, and I'll just sit down for about 4 or 5 hours and I'll just read books. And I like reading a lot of books on business and on mindset. Like, I have no money in savings because I just spend everything that I make. On my computer, I have a list of stuff that I want to buy, all the stuff I want to buy for the whole year. My money is spent before it even comes in for the most part. I guess most people would recommend that you have like at least 2 to 3 months of expenses saved up, or to have like an emergency fund of $1,000. But at work, I make $1,000 a day. I was able to save up an emergency fund in 10 days. In 10 days, I had saved $7,000, but I turn around like the next week and just spend it. So I'm horrible with saving money. I like spending money too much. Short-term plans are I want to be making at least $600,000 a year by the time I'm 31. So that means I'm gonna have to double my current income right now. I just have 1 stream of income for this year. I had multiple streams of income last year because I had some online investments.
Other secrets like how to edit a music video in 15 minutes and how to get a professional look on a low budget. So if you want to get started making money with your own video business, or you want to take your video business to the next level.
But I had to cut back on those when the whole 2020 quarantine happened. And so this year I was able to make this amount of money off of 1 stream of income. So in a few years from now, this stream of income will be doubled. And then I want to add on 4 to 5 more streams of income. So I think if I can accomplish all these things and get all the stuff produced, like my online shows, get my YouTube channel monetized, start my real estate portfolio, go back to selling an online course, and with my freelance video business, then I think I should have no problem making it to $600,000 a year by the time I'm 31. But my long-term goals are I want to be like a very, I want to be a super producer that produces a lot of TV shows, a lot of films. I want to do like 1,000 TV shows and films that are produced by me. And I also want to be a professional bodybuilder, and I want to travel and see every country in the world. And I want to just live my whole life like it's an adventure movie.
It's about me.